Then came the press conference that was obviously after the presentation, where lots of questions were put to them, and one of those questions was which position he sees himself playing in at Real Madrid, and here's what he had to say.
Me voy a jugar donde él quiere el míster. Puedo jugar en las tres posiciones de arriba. He jugado en París en las tres posiciones de arriba, en la selección francesa también en las tres posiciones de arriba, en Mónaco también. So, lo más importante es estar bien físicamente y mentalmente para ayudar al equipo. Donde me voy a jugar es un detalle. Es bien para vosotros o periodistas, tiene cosas de hablar, pero para mí no es un debate. Yo quiero estar en el campo seguro, pero dónde me va a jugar no es una pregunta. Yo vi el míster esta mañana y no hablamos de eso, porque para mí me da igual, no me importa de jugar y demostrar que puedo ayudar al Real Madrid.
Obviously, talking about not mattering where he does play, we're just taking a look by position in all competitions of last season, whether it was the left wing or a striker, and the numbers are pretty effective in both, Stevie.
Yeah.
Do you believe that he doesn't mind where he's told he'll be playing?
No, I think he's saying and doing what he's supposed to do right now, and that is say all the nice things and everything that everybody's going to like to hear. The cat will be put amongst the pigeons if things don't start off too well and he's not on the left-hand side, for example. And then we'll find out whether it's a problem or not. But listen, he's doing and saying all the right things right now, and you can't argue with that. But as I said, when the ball comes out, and whether the net starts bulging or not will depend on whether he thinks he's playing in the right position or not.
The last person that had a great press conference was Jude Bellingham. And it was smooth and it was articulate and it was impressive, particularly as a younger man. And then he went on to have the most amazing first season, particularly the first 6 months. Not such a great end with England, obviously. But he did his talking on the field, and ultimately that's what Kylian Mbappe is going to have to do here. Now, he has a great manager to work under, he has some great teammates to play along with, and they are going to be tough to knock off the top. But this is big time for him now. This is, you know, they used to boo Ronaldo and Benzema and many others when they did not like what they saw, the Real Madrid fans, and that's all something he's going to. And by the way, you and Dan Thomas are two of the worst at misconstruing words in the history of this business. Because at no point did I say I wasn't looking forward to Kylian Mbappe. I was saying I don't like all this sort of peripheral nonsense. Of course I'm looking forward to watching him play. It's just, you know, the talking is done on the field. And I'm just glad that he's here now, because with a lot of this has been a sort of, it seems like an 18-month drag-on drama where he was going to be there and then Florentino Perez got the custard pie and didn't walk away, came back for the player, and now it's happened. It
seems unthinkable, though, in reality.
That he'll have a bad time.
Yeah, I mean, you know...
I don't think so.
Real Madrid are going to be so far ahead of everybody else, including Barcelona, that, you know, he personally is going to have to be so bad not to be scoring goals and making goals. I mean, they are just going to be so far ahead of everybody else. So it seems inconceivable. Whether he plays the left, through the middle, on the right, you can play him any way you want. But this team, no question, the odds must be ridiculous for them to win the league. And so that means that he is absolutely going to score loads of goals. Now, is it going to be Messi numbers? Is it going to be Ronaldo numbers? I guess that's what, as Craig said, he'll be judged on. But you can guarantee he's going to score plenty of goals in this team. No question.
When it does come to his position, Alex, obviously we see with the Spanish press so often they love giving us those lineups of their best 11s and how they think it will be. What's been the talk of what the Gala 11 will be for Madrid this coming season?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing to say, it's obvious, but he will play. He will play because he's the new star signing. He's, you know, this player that Florentino Perez has wanted to bring in for such a long time. Now that he's here, he is going to play. Vinicius Jr. is going to play as well, because he has been sort of the superstar up to this point alongside Jude Bellingham. So those two play up front. The question is it a front two? Is it a front three with Rodrigo Goes? You know, Bellingham's in there as well. How do you sort of structure the midfield around that? How do you make up for the absence of Toni Kroos? And I think his loss will be felt because he was so important to the way the team operated last season, had such a good season last year. It's a shame, really. It would have been great to see Toni Kroos sort of providing through balls for Kylian Mbappe, but it's not to be. So that's interesting, I think. We don't know exactly what the shape of the team's going to be. We heard from Mbappe there. He said, look, he had a quick chat with Carlo Ancelotti this morning when he visited Valdebebas to sign the contract, but they didn't talk tactics. They haven't talked tactics yet. He had a quick word with the fitness coach, Antonio Pintus, and his medical team as well, to come up with sort of a plan for what the plan is in terms of getting fully fit. Of course, you've got the broken nose issue as well. You've got the fact he's come off the back of a long, hard season. He will need some rest. They need to get him in shape sooner rather than later. And the other big unanswered question is when we're going to see him in a Real Madrid shirt for the first time. Now, he said today he was targeting the UEFA Super Cup against Atalanta. He said that's the game that he wants to play in, the first trophy of the season up for grabs. He was asked about, will he make it over to the States for the pre-season tour? And he said, well, that's up to the club. If they want me to go, I'll go. I think given the timings involved, that's highly unlikely. But the Super Cup is the target in terms of the first competitive game. And that'll be the first clue that we get from the lineup there in terms of how he's going to fit into that front line.
Will Ancelotti already have it in his mind where he's going to play him, or is he going to use some of these pre-season games to test a few things out?
I think he'll have a wish list of where he wants him to play, but then once he puts the team on the field and he sees how the chemistry is and how they gel, then he will absolutely figure out what is best for the team. And that's what it has to be. It can't be what's best for Mbappe. Now, some might argue that what's best for Mbappe is going to mean that it's best for the team. But this Real Madrid side, up until now, has not really been about a sort of Ronaldo type. They're a unit, they're a team. And I'm sure that Ancelotti wants to keep it that way. And that means that he plays where he's told to play for the benefit of the team. That's the way it has to be, and I'm sure that's the way it will be under Ancelotti.